I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Get ready to sing along with us on this one. It's very repetitive. Just as you become familiar, just join in and be ready for some choreography. It'll be very obvious when that starts. I'm going to turn around. Do not be daunted. We're just going to do a little, there'll be some jazz hands, a little swaying, a little moving. Here we go.
Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, aye, Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, aye, Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, Be open.
Good morning, beloveds. Good morning, beloveds. We just heard you. Come as you are, with weary hearts, searching minds, and spirits daring to hope. We travel the world that trembles, where old systems groan beneath the weight of injustice, and yet still something within us whispers of possibility. Come, let us into this sacred space for grief and courage, for truth-telling and imagination, for the fragile, persistent hope that another world is possible. Let us celebrate the power of community, the resilience of the human spirit, and the holy work of becoming. Together, We will lift our hearts towards the promise of a new world. Let us celebrate hope for the possible.
Good morning and welcome to the church with a big heart and a 15-syllable name, the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. As we say our welcome words today, we invite you to soften into the embrace of our gathered community here in our sanctuary and online, and know that you are seen and you are safe here. We invite those of you on Zoom to shift into gallery mode if you haven't already done so. Scroll through the screens and join us in our words of welcome. This morning, it will be a call and response. Please give a resounding reply like this. You are welcome here. Let's hear it. You are welcome here.
You are welcome here today in all the beauty of languages, ages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, and sizes, gifts and challenges that come together in your uniqueness.
You are welcome here.
In all the ways you experience and express gender.
You are welcome here.
In the beauty that is who you are, who you love, and how you love.
You are welcome here.
In all the ways you make your living and the places you are from.
You are welcome here.
We're getting a little softer here. With all the traditions that inform your spiritual life.
You are welcome here.
No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return.
You are welcome here.
Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears.
You are welcome here.
You are invited to join us with a curious mind, a loving heart, and a willing spirit.
You are welcome here. Whether you're joining us in person or online for the very first time, we're so glad you're here. We hope you feel the warmth, welcome, and love of this community surrounding you. The QR code that is showing on your screens now will take you to an order of service for this morning's service. Our book for sharing joys and concerns is in the rear of the sanctuary. You're welcome to write a brief personal note in it, and do mark whether you'd like us to read your note aloud later in the service. If you'd like a lay pastoral care associate or a neighborhood connector to get in touch with you, please add your contact information. You're welcome to enter in the book anytime during the service until the book is brought up here towards the end of the hour.
Come, let us celebrate hope for the possible and move our hearts towards the promise of a new world as we offer gratitude for all that come together to bring this service to you. I want to thank our music team and our beautiful choir. Our tech team today is Larry Sherwood, Charlie Morris, and Deborah Mensch. I want to thank Sam, who's in the choir today, but is also our congregational administrator, who many of you probably don't know and don't see, so say hello to Sam. And just be prepared to greet them and welcome them and just say thank you, because they do such a wonderful job. So let's take a moment to greet those around us. If you're in the sanctuary, I invite you to turn to your neighbor, gauge a little chaos with us. If you're on Zoom, I invite you to take a moment to greet each other in the chat. Okay, Charles.
Settle down. If you have a chalice at home, you can light it with us as we light our fellowship chalice. So we know where all our chalices are lit. Please write in the chat, chalice lit and the name of your town. Please say the words along with me as we light our chalice. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. And now I'll sing our bowl again, inviting you to settle deeper into the present moment and this, our beloved community, as I share this poem from William Butler Yeats, The Second Coming. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in the sands of the desert, a shape with a lion's body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs while all about it reel shadows of indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to a nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born. William Butler Yeats wrote his darkly prophetic poem 107 years ago. It was 1919, soon after the end of World War I, the deadliest war in world history until World War II. It was a dark time in history. And so it is today, as we teeter on the precipice of ruin, but also of possibility. On election night 16 months ago, Lucy and I were here at the fellowship with others watching election results on the big screen in the fellowship hall. Some of you were here. Some of our musicians were playing gentle acoustical music in the sanctuary. We all saw the election pointing towards its dismal conclusion. 4 years of bad governance coming. It was comforting to share our grief and anxiety that night with others, but I don't think any of us realized just how much damage our world would endure in the next year and a half. Soon after his inauguration, this 47th president and his minions, including Elon Musk and the Heritage Foundation, got right to work knocking down the pillars of our government and our morality. You know the story. Elon Musk and his teams of tech-savvy but naive kids fired tens of thousands of federal workers without even understanding their jobs. They destroyed U.S. aid the agency that fed many in the third world. They left life-saving food to spoil in warehouses and cause the death of 500,000 of the world's most vulnerable children. Our government did that. And so many other destructive and cruel acts. The 15 cabinet positions in this far-right administration are held by people actively trying to destroy their departments or bend them to work backwards to benefit the wealthy. Their televised cabinet meetings include a round robin called a praise train, where each secretary tries to outdo the others in praising the president. I think that alone would exclude anyone with integrity from the cabinet. These are broken people breaking our government. Meanwhile, the conservative majority in Congress has abandoned its constitutional duties to be the third equal branch of government. Now they serve to enable this president's worst authoritarian ambitions. All of this is designed to subvert our democracy and turn our economy over to the oligarchs who already control a disproportionate share of our country's wealth and power. 6 weeks ago, 47 started a foolish war with Iran. We will be dealing with the consequences for a long time. Broken people breaking our country and our world. Yeats again. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. Yet, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Progressives are winning elections again all across our country. 47's approval ratings are dropping fast. Viktor Orbán lost badly in Hungary. Really, thank goodness. After 47 depicted himself as Jesus healing a white man in a recent social media post, I saw this online. I take that as a good sign. I know we have a long struggle ahead to heal our democracy and our decency. But I'm not talking about returning to the former status quo. I'm imagining much more than that. First, we must have free and fair midterm elections next fall. This fall. Yes, that will require our time, our vigilance, our unity. Then, when we win a Democratic majority in Congress, we must halt the slide towards authoritarianism in every way possible. While impeaching 47 in the House and convicting him in the Senate remains a pipe dream, let's be realistic. As does removing him via the 25th Amendment, we can defund rogue actors like ICE and stop other significant parts of their cruel authoritarian agenda. Yet the hard reality is, after the midterms, we will probably have 2.5 more years of bad MAGA leadership before we can elect a new president. Then, our nation can do much more than just restoring our government to the way it was before MAGA's 4-year rampage. By then, Americans may be fed up enough to vote for something entirely different. If not then at the next election or the next, we will be there. This is my great hope, that Americans, after suffering enough, eventually will be ready for profound change. Like agreeing that corporations are not people, and only people can vote and contribute to campaigns. Like making adequate health care a human right that should never be for-profit enterprise. Like affirming that diversity is our greatest strength so we can once again become a collaborative leader of the free world. Yes, we can do all these things. We can change the very nature of capitalism by continually asking not what best enriches the stockholders, but rather what serves the greatest good. Let us debate about that for the next 100 years. We can realize that we must change our patterns of living if we want a sustainable future. We must redefine our basic notions of prosperity and recognize that our assumption of infinite growth on a finite planet is scientifically impossible. Most of all, this really gets to the point here. Most of all, we must reframe our understanding of freedom. Conservatives have sort of owned that phrase, freedom from the government interfering in their lives. But when the government is curtailed, as we have learned, mega corporations rush in to fill the void and extract profit from our lives. Freedom, too, is a much more expansive definition. Freedom to pursue your dreams because you have adequate housing, health care, and education. Freedom to work, thank you. Freedom to work a job you believe in because you have child care. Freedom to live because we all get vaccinated against pandemics. Freedom to choose if and when to have children. Freedom to be the gender you feel in your bones. People living in poverty are not free. People being discriminated against are not free. People dying of preventable diseases are not free. The unhoused are not free. Let us make them so by granting them the freedom to live their best lives, by providing everyone with the basic tools they need to succeed, however they may define success in their lives. Because none of us are free until all of us are free. May it be so. Namaste. Oh, wow. I love this. Well, each week, hello, am I on? Each week we remind ourselves of gratitude for our community by giving half our plate away to those organizations that share our values. Today, the half plate benefits EcoCycle, which was launched 50 years ago by concerned citizens, including members of this congregation. EcoCycle's local zero waste models have helped change our society, well, a little, I guess, by teaching people how to conserve natural resources and offer climate solutions. Find out more about EcoCycle and volunteer opportunities on their website. You can text your donation to the number at the screen, or if you're at the fellowship today, place a donation in the offering plate as it passes. Thank you for giving what you can. For the work of the fellowship, bringing love, reason, compassion, and justice to this world, and for EcoCycle, we dedicate these offerings.
I don't know who prepared this service, but why I got stood behind jazz hands and Eric, and I don't know. I'd like to start our time together with a responsive reading. Words will be on the screen. Words by Jane Hirschfield, Let Them Not Say, slightly adapted. Let them not say, we did not see it, we saw. Let them not say, we did not hear it, we heard. Let them not say, we did not taste it, we ate, we trembled. Let them not say, it was not spoken, not written. We spoke, we witnessed with faces and hands. Let them not say, they did nothing, we did not enough. Let them say, as they must say something, a kerosene beauty, it burned. Let them say, we warmed ourselves by it. By its light, praised, and it burned. I have not one, but 2 iPads. And I'm going old school with paper. Ad astra per aspera. Anybody know what that means? Through hardship to the stars. Eric got the hard part of this reflection that we've worked on together. He got to give you the bleak. He got to give you the state of this country. He also got to, though, give you a call for the future, for inclusion, for more love, for more empathy. A call for freedom for all people to have the pursuit of happiness and lives granted to us by our Creator. My words, not directly Eric's. My part of this sermon and this message today is to tell you how we're going to do it. So, I'm going to be prescriptive. There are moments in history, and we're in this right now, right? When we struggle. We're struggling right now with our understanding of democracy. With our question of if we are approaching a fascist state, or are we in a fascist state? Are we letting ourselves and giving ourselves to authoritarianism, or have we already done it? I've heard many stories and conversations about this great experiment. And so many are saying it failed. 250 years, we were so close. But I want to tell you that we've been asking these questions for centuries. We have something to celebrate even in our failure, because we've gotten closer than we've ever been. I often talk to people and I often say to them, when I die, and hopefully somebody sees this message online 250 years from now, they will say, AJ was so backwards. That was so antiquated. That language was just not acceptable. I hope that in 250 years, that's where we are. Right? I hope that we're in that space. So, we've been diagnosing and trying to understand, this whole concept of capitalism. And we, as Unitarian Universalists, we are not standing on that as our model. That's not to say we haven't done that in the past. We, as Unitarian Universalists, have both been abolitionists and holders of enslaved peoples. We, as Unitarian Universalists, have promoted war and struggled almost to our own deaths fighting for peace. We have marched. We lost James Reeb, one of our own ministers in Selma. We marched for civil rights in the 60s. And unfortunately today, we still hold that as our claim to fame when it comes to racial justice. But we have to look at who we are, because our faith in so many ways is always on the precipice of the next thing. We struggle, but we try to do our best. So I'm going to offer you this understanding of what we do and who we are today. Not perfect, far from it, but who we are and what we're trying to strive for. I don't want to strive for the utopia. If you know what that word means, it means that which cannot be attained. Right? I also don't want to go to the dystopia. Right? Which is where so many of us feel like we're headed. Right? I will come back to this, but I will hope that we get to Star Trek, not the Hunger Games. If you know that reference. Because it is our job as Unitarian Universalists to move that arc of the moral universe, as Theodore Parker reminded the Massachusetts State Assembly when he went to and addressed them about the abolition of slavery. And then Theodore Parker, after that speech to the Massachusetts State Assembly, had received so many threats that he had to, in a different world, carry a gun in his desk and on his person for the rest of his life. Because he was actually attacked, and his family was actually attacked. Not promoting that. It was a different world. But we have to understand that this is who we are, right? With all our trials and all of our tribulations. Hope gives us an ability to create the vision of a possible new world. And we've been creating this vision since the earliest conceptions of Unitarianism and Universalism. Can someone tell me when that earliest conception was? 1500s? Is that where we're consensus? 1500s? All right. Family Feud. Our earliest conceptions of Unitarianism and Universalism go back to that heretical Jew that we saw on the screen, that really bad Hindu named Siddhartha, that crazy Greek named Plato and his buddy Aristotle. Unitarianism and Universalism goes back that far. And we've been striving to make it better, make this world better, continuously ever since. And it's been hard. When the Unitarian bishops and the the Trinitarian bishops showed up at Nicaea to write that Christian creed that so many of us know from our other lives, do you know how that creed was passed? The Unitarians were slaughtered. The Unitarian bishops were slaughtered. So we have to think about who we are. Because guess what? We've got a great heritage of being heretics. We've got a great heritage of being change makers. We've got a great heritage of challenging the system and constantly visioning something new and something better. And that's where we are. We have, as Unitarian Universalists, an ability to address this country in a way that no one else can. And we need to start to do that. And that's going to be my challenge to all of you. In this room, I presume, there are Unitarian Universalist Christians. There are Buddhist Unitarian Universalists. There are Wiccan Unitarian Universalists. There are pagan Unitarian Universalists. There are atheist Unitarian Universalists. And I can go on and on and on. And what does that do? That positions us to be able to speak to everyone. So why are we not once again, and I'm not saying that this is the responsibility of Boulder Valley, UU Fellowship, with all those 15 syllables, but what I am saying, it is our collective responsibility to once again be the fourth largest denomination in today's world faith tradition in this country, which is where we were in the late 1800s. Universalism was the fourth largest denomination in this country. William Ellery Channing's Unitarian Christianity sermon was the second largest publication in this country, only behind the Bible. We need to come together again and find our vision, find our new hope for the future. Remind ourselves of our history, of marching in Selma, of being the first church to legally marry same-sex couples in Boston. We have to remember that vision. We have to look forward in this despair. We cannot let ourselves just wallow in it. And I'm not saying that we don't live through those traumas. I'm not saying that we don't take it in and hold it. But we take it in and hold it and care for it and reshape it into something new. From Theodore Parker to, if you remember, a year and a half ago, to Thomas Starr King, we have had roles in abolition and changing this country. When people talk about this country being founded in Christianity, you all need to agree with them. This country was founded in Christianity. Unitarian Christianity. Thomas Jefferson's deism. James Adams. John Adams and John Quincy Adams. I was saying James Luther Adams. John Adams and John Quincy Adams. Unitarian Christianity. It was Unitarian Christianity that said, no more divine right of kings. It was Unitarian Christianity that wrote that Mayflower Compact. It was Unitarian Christianity that separated church and state. Yes, this was a Christian country. It was ours. And we need to figure out how. Not in the way that they're doing it, not in that understanding of Christian nationalism, but we need to figure out how it becomes ours again, how it becomes forward-thinking, how it becomes inclusive, how it separates and divides power so there's more equity and more equality. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we got to hope for it, and if we don't hope for it, we can be sure it won't. So I come back to ad astera per aspera. Through struggle, the stars. I talked about some history, but I want to talk about the future. So for those of you who know me, we've gotten to talk, because every time we talk it comes up. I am a huge Star Trek geek. Right? And that's where that phrase comes from, in the modern sense, which, because nobody reads Latin anymore, except for a few of us, Claire Marie. But, Roddenberry was envisioning a world. And Roddenberry, I don't know if you know, was UU adjacent. Roddenberry and Lucille Ball and Rod Serling were all Unitarians. Right, or Unitarian adjacent. And there are some things that we're not going to talk about Rod Serling and about Gene Roddenberry, but we're not going to go there. But it's an aspirational space. And so a week ago or so, I was asked during a meeting, where do you hold your hope here? We were asking me, where do you hold your hope? And I was like, my family and whatever, but I'm like, Star Trek. I remember being a little kid, watching Star Trek, with my ADHD brain not being able to shut down, not being, being up at 11:30 at night, watching it on TV, and seeing that beautiful black woman that looked like my aunt, and seeing that Asian guy that looked like my best friend, and going through the world in the 1980s where we did these crazy drills of the Cold War, and having a Russian guy on the bridge. Hope. Hope. It holds my hope. And today, we look at this space, and I hold it so well to my heart, because my God, who doesn't want Stacey Abrams as the president of the Federation? Because that's where she is today. Right? One of the major things in Star Trek, and one of the biggest pieces, is a quote by, that kind of holds things together, and Gene Roddenberry was really proud of this line. But it was by, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Yes, my son's name is Jean-Luc, but it is not after him. But this quote: "The acquisition of wealth is no longer the driving source in our lives. We look to better ourselves and the rest of humanity." Could that not be a motto for Unitarian Universalism? Could we not see that on our church buildings? Could we not envision that hope for the future? Where we have this year a Klingon in a skirt, and the right is saying it's too woke, and have done everything in their power to silence the show, because we can't see a black man in a skirt. We can't see an interracial couple kiss for the first time. We can't see our first non-binary, gender-affirmed characters in the 1980s. We can't see queer same-sex relationships that were shown in the 1980s and then fully affirmed in some of its latest shows. And I'm not talking about this for the fact of Star Trek, but I'm talking about this for the fact of it gives us hope for the future. This is the hope that Unitarian Universalists should be looking for in 100 years, in 300 years, when they look back and they say, AJ was so backwards. It's a referendum on where we can be. So this little kid, this little 7-year-old kid, staying up too late, watching this TV show, it's an understanding of where we can be, and it was a helpful foundation for my understanding of why I wanted to be a Unitarian Universalist minister. We have to now, and I will say this is my last point. My God, we may actually finish close to an hour today. So I can say all this to you, and I'm hoping you feel good about who you are as a Unitarian Universalist. Knowing we've got work to do, knowing there's aspirations in the future. But I'm going to ask you to do that work around you. Make sure that everyone knows that you're a Unitarian Universalist. There is a swag shop on this church's on the fellowship's website. Get one of those shirts and wear one of those shirts. Hey, that was not a plant, Janet. That was not a plant. But yes, go out. When people ask you, why are you marching for justice? It's because I'm a Unitarian Universalist. Unitarian Universalists, who are they? They're the founders of this country. That's who they are. Unitarian Universalists, who are they? They're the ones that marched in Selma. Unitarian Universalists, who are they? They're the ones that married the first same-sex couples across this country. We're the ones that were standing on courthouse doors and staircases, just marrying people left and right, like just total chaos. That's who we are. We're the people that have been fighting the system. We are the people who, at the end of the day, as small as we are as a national organization, and we are deeply rooted in this country, and at the end of the day, we will win. Because progress and love and generosity always win. It may not be in our time. It may not be what we want to see right now, but we will win. Amen? Amen. Blessed be. Blessed be. I hope I did you right today. I was trying to be more elegant in that as I dropped everything. And is your heart ready? I hope our hearts are ready. I hope our hearts are ready to now enter a sacred time of sharing. And I'm muted. I don't want to be doubling up on the Zoom. To sharing our joys and our concerns. If you are on Zoom, please add your joys and concerns in the chat now that you would like us to share. Our Sunday support person is Mizia. I told Mizia I was going to mess it up. Shatara, wearing the white stole. Here in the sanctuary. Mizia will be welcoming at the welcome desk after the service for pastoral care or just conversation. As we reflect on our joys and concerns, Eric will hold our concerns as a symbol in stone that will celebrate and hold anything that we have in our hearts. We hold all of these joys and concerns, these sharings of our lives in our hands. Eric holds a symbol of this in our hands. So may we enter all of these, add one more stone for that which is in our hearts that we are not sharing out loud. And also, Eric, add one more stone for our world. May it be filled with hope and possibility and love. Blessed be.
No matter where you've been, feel you deep within.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you, and so I want you to know.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Please join me as Eric extinguishes our chalice and the chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we are. And Jean?
I don't care. All right, great. Hi. Is this on? It is. Hi, I'm Paul Austin. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a trustee on the board, stepping in for whoever was supposed to do announcements. We invite you to stay for a while after our celebration for casual conversation on Zoom or join us for coffee hour in the fellowship hall. We cherish these moments of connection. Those in person can stop by the welcome table in our foyer. And if you're on Zoom, you'll find helpful links in the chat to help you get involved in this community. We invite you to stay and chat with others on Zoom when the service is over. The final Inquirers gathering until the next series in the fall is happening today. Come hear about the Caring Council and the group it oversees, which offers various types of support during difficult times. Mazia, who's in the white stole there, is also part of that caring council. She'll be available after the service. These groups include our memorial reception volunteers, the lay pastoral care team, neighborhood connectors, end-of-life planning, and memory loss caregivers. If you want to learn more, grab a cup of coffee and meet back in here at the sanctuary at 11:30 today. Our time together does not begin or end on Sundays. Throughout the week, there are many opportunities for spiritual growth, service, and fellowship. A Path to Membership class will be held next Saturday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to noon in the Mountain View Room. A late breakfast will be served. There's no obligation to become a member to BVUUF. Please register today at the Welcome Center or use the link in the Zoom chat. Great. And there's a benediction.
Good job, Paul. I ask you to rise in body and or spirit for our closing words. If you are willing to join hands, or if you're not willing to join hands, cross your arms and people will know where we are. You know what? I'm gonna step back here because Deborah's gonna yell at me about the feedback. We leave this gathering this morning. I invite you to take these words of hope with you, holding curiosity over fear and exploration over domination, from Gene Roddenberry, slightly adapted. Boulder Valley UU Fellowship, our ship, may it continue on its unending mission to explore strange new worlds of justice, to seek out new ways of life that celebrate diversity, create new civilizations of compassion, and with other Unitarian Universalists around the world, go boldly where no one has gone before. And remain standing for our
Okay, we're going to go out singing Whoa, Yeah, Yeah, everyone's favorite. Here we go. There will be words.
1, 2, 3.